Instagram's our main platform.
Instagram's your main platform.
Correct.
Okay, cool. Monchalee?
Hi everyone. I'm Monchalee Nimbus Unlimited, and I really focus on integration between digital and traditional marketing. I come from a corporate background, and so I can take into consideration all of the different hoops that different aspects of the business need to jump through when putting together a digital strategy. I do everything from social media to search engine marketing, retargeting and display ads, you name it, I can help.
Patrick?
My name is Patrick.
Don't be scared of the mic, Patrick.
What?
Don't be scared of the mic.
Close.
Yeah, you're good.
My name is Patrick Ahler. I run an agency that specializes in hotel marketing. We also do restaurants, as a lot of hotels have restaurants attached to them. I have a tech background and shifted into hospitality in 2010. And since then, I've really been specializing in digital marketing for hoteliers and restaurants.
Excellent. Okay, I was. This is going to be a challenge for our rock stars here. I was just in New York City at a really cool. It was an international advertising media event in New York City, and one of the most impressive speakers was this gentleman who is a consultant to Google, Facebook, also the newspaper industry, and he was really down on online marketing. Overall, and a stat that he gave that I get, because I run my own ad agency here in Hawaii. I don't own it, I run it, so disclaimer there. $334 billion was spent in online advertising in 2018. Google got the lion's share of $110 million. Then Facebook was right behind them. And then, interestingly enough, Snapchat and Twitter are starting to get pretty good dollars. But the big caveat was, you have these big companies like Procter & Gamble, automotive industry. They are now spending 50% of their advertising budget on digital. And they're now starting to question that. Because you have all these huge advertisers spending 50% of budget in digital, and their sales are not going up. So they're starting to question, does digital really work? So that's what we're going to kind of dive into today. So, panel, Darrell, does digital work better than traditional?
I think in what we're doing, it does, because for Hawaii's Best Kitchens, we're all about photos of food, and people like to see either what new restaurant opened, what is the daily special, what new chef is there, or what their friends are eating. So that's, I believe, how my page has grown over the years, which started in 2014, we have almost 150,000 followers.
Cool. I would agree that, my opinion is restaurants online is you got to be online for sure. Monchalee?
So I'm going to go the other way and say that marketing has changed a lot, right? In the years that all of us have been part of it. It used to just be traditional, and traditional meant newspapers, television, radio. And then digital sort of became its separate entity. And we're at a place now where marketing really is about the full spectrum. Having something on social media or having digital still has to reflect similarly when you have newspaper ads. And the newspaper ad still needs to support whatever that digital is. Also, we have to take into consideration who is the audience. If you're looking for an audience that maybe not as digitally active, then definitely there is a place to have traditional marketing. So it really is about who are the people you're trying to reach, what is the story that you're trying to tell. You should definitely be on both, but whether it should be 50-50, whether it should be 75-25, it really is about who you're trying to reach and then what's important to them.
Yeah, great answer. So synergistic marketing, the messaging that's on radio or it's in print and it's online, it needs to be synergistic, right? And I agree. I think our ad agency, we have about 14 clients, and they all have different audiences that they are looking to market to. So depending on who that audience is how you should choose the media. Like if you want to hit affluent over 55, you should definitely be in the newspaper.
I And if I may add to that, I mean, I think a lot of us focus on visitor market, right? And each of the visitor markets are different. If you're targeting a Japanese visitor, then being in print in Japan has way more impact than being online.
Good question. Patrick, you're a hotel baby, so talk to us about how do you feel about this?
So, I think the reason that person, whoever it was, that came out and said they were very anti-digital, I think the reason for that.
Wait, wasn't anti-digital? They just he felt that way too much, the percentage of budget is way out of whack. It's 50, he was like 50% of your budget online. Like his argument was that's way too much for the budget. He didn't say it doesn't work, but he felt it was overrated, I think was the word. So
I think what's happened though, and it's still kind of the same answer, is you've got these opportunities that have come up with social media, with Google, and in the early days, they make a lot of sense. You can buy traffic for very affordable prices. These are publicly traded companies. They have a fiduciary responsibility, and they're going to try and increase their ad spend, or increase their ad revenue. So what they've done is increase their cost per click, and you as the advertiser end up paying more and more and more.
yeah, it's crowded. It's very competitive, right, to buy digital.
Early days, if you can get in early days on a market like Google Ads or Snapchat's a good example right now. Some of their prices are better, but Instagram and Facebook, their costs, or the cost to advertise on those channels are skyrocketing now. So the trick as an advertiser is to find the right channels at the right time, and be very strategic about your approach. If you're not, and you're like one of these big companies just throws money at it, you're not going to be successful. You're going to waste money, and you're not going to see the return on that spend.
Okay, all right, great answers. Darrell, what are the top 3 go-tos for digital advertising? For restaurant, let's just talk about restaurant, because there's definitely restaurant people in there, because that's your niche.
Again, I would say it's social, so it'd be, I would say Instagram or Facebook is the top choice. The reason for that is there's more engagement, and everybody goes on their phone, they're probably scrolling on Instagram versus they're scrolling on Facebook, and it's easier to share. And you know the feed now is so much better the way it's set up now, and especially with stories.
Okay, I got a question for you. So I know we buy a lot of Facebook for our advertisers, and we buy it because of the analytics that we get. It's like unbelievable. Like almost any media you can buy on the planet, Facebook's going to give you probably the best analytics, in my opinion. Of course, Google Analytics, but this is even another layer, right? So how is Instagram? How's the analytics on Instagram?
Instagram has analytics too.
Okay,
But
because that's Facebook, right?
yes, exactly. So when you look at analytics versus what the norm is, people are looking at the number of likes per photo or the engagement, which for the consumer, that's what they're looking at. You know, what photo is popular versus what's behind the scenes as the company itself.
Okay, cool. Monchalee? Top 3.
Top 3.
Let's say you have a hotel client. I'm going to put you and Patrick against each other here. So, if you had a, let's say a boutique hotel, not a big one, like a small hotel in Waikiki, like, give me one.
I got you. So I would say that search engine marketing, which are also known as SEM, pay-per-click, there's a lot of different words for that. But it's basically when someone does a search on a search engine, it's an ad that shows up that directly is related to that search.
So those are like the ads that say ad, right?
It does
right
say
at the top.
ad
And then
on
organic is
Google,
underneath that.
correct. And so like if you do a search on Google, it shows up top, it pushes all the organic stuff below. And really what it does is it answers the immediate need of the person who's looking for what you offer. Paired with that, I would say retargeting or remarketing. So that's when, and all of you have experienced this. So for example, you go to Amazon, you look at your favorite pair of shoes, you decide not to buy it, and then suddenly your pair of shoes is traveling around the internet with
Right.
you.
Yeah, that's retargeting.
That's retargeting. But that same tactic is fantastic because what it does is it keeps your brand top of mind. And so all it takes is for someone to, for example, go to your website once, look at how wonderful your room rates are, decide that they're not ready to make that decision, well, now you can remind them that this is the decision that they want to make. And as time goes on, you can change what that message is for around 30 days. You can say, hey, come back to us, we offer 10% off your next booking. If you book now, you get a free breakfast. And so being able to follow the same person who originally showed interest in your brand is super powerful.
Because you got a warm lead, basically.
As you do, you have a warm lead. And number 3, I know he says Instagram over Facebook. I would say that where Facebook really stands out is your ability to really pinpoint target.
Laser target, laser.
Because, and what makes targeting through them different than targeting through anyone else is that this is all information that we as Facebook users volunteered. We told them that this is our birthday, we told them that we just got engaged, we told them that we like to, whatever, go to the beach and surf. And so it really allows you to reach the user and where they're saying, this is who I am. And so I'll go with Facebook.
Patrick, let's talk about this killer hotel that you guys. Patrick, they not only do social media marketing, online marketing, but they also are revenue managers for hotels. So you can maybe talk briefly about that. But let's talk more about Napili. What was the name of it? The killer Napili? Napili. Yeah, Napili. So let's just talk about that specific client. Give a little bio of that hotel, and then what are the 3 top things you're doing to market that hotel?
Napili Beach Resort is on Maui.
It's like at the end of Kanapali, like towards Honolulu Bay.
Yeah, beautiful on the beach in Napili Bay. I think going into any hotel or restaurant, what you want to focus on, and I'm going to be really specific here, is its visibility. And every strategy is different, but let's say this is a new property, they're just coming up, which wasn't the case in Napili Bay, but just in general. Expedia is huge in this market, so being on Expedia and making sure you have visibility there. Yes, you're going to pay a big commission, but that's where the eyes are. So you want to be on Expedia. TripAdvisor, you want to make sure you're on TripAdvisor. And then your website. Making sure your website converts so that people come to you, that you present the property, restaurant in the right way so that you can get to the booking engine and convert. What we did for Napili Kai is we came in there, and we've done this for a number of sites. Kualoa is another one.
The Kauai one, right? What was the Kauai one? Got so many clients you forget about them, don't you?
Kauai Shores, we recently did. What we'll do is we'll come in and kind of refresh the brand online, and that starts from Expedia and TripAdvisor and down to the website and every other channel where the property or restaurant is presented, and just really cleaning those up, making them look professional. Putting your best foot forward, so when people discover you, they immediately say, I'm going to stay there, I might want to eat there, and you fall into their bucket of potential choices. That's just the first step of marketing. So visibility, engagement, and conversion, and then those three different sites, your own website, Expedia for hotels, and say Yelp, probably for restaurants, and then TripAdvisor.
Cool. So like, AdWords and Instagram are not in your top 5?
I would say
budget spent.
in terms of budget spend, Google Ads not as much for hotels, just because in this market we're dominated by Expedia.
They're buying your AdWords, right?
They're spending so much in advertising. The only reason we use Google Ads is really to shift when people are looking for our brand. So if they're looking for a specific property, we'll buy those keyword searches. If I'm looking for XYZ Hotel in Waikiki, XYZ Hotel should actually bid on their own brand term, prevent Expedia and Booking.com from kind of stealing that traffic back to their site. That's how I use Google Ads.
Yeah, so I'm gonna tell a story. So one of my clients is King Windward Nissan. Now there's 3 Nissan dealers here on Oahu. There's King Windward, there's New City, and then there's the Tony Group. Now King Windward Nissan organically is a great URL, so it comes up really high. But both New City Nissan and Tony Group buy King Windward Nissan AdWord and pay a lot for it. So we don't, and that means because it does so well organically, we don't have to spend a dime on most of our words that are in our brand name. So I think you should totally, your brand name, I think Pat, maybe you guys can talk about how you can tell how well your brand name does on its own, so you don't need to spend money on that. Can you comment on that? So, untold.com, right? I don't know what the URL is, but at what point do you buy your own URL as a keyword or not?
Whenever anybody else is bidding on it.
You don't buy it.
So Google will allow you to spend less money, so your cost per click is actually much lower bidding on your brand term.
Oh, so you get a break.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. I
You
didn't
get
know that.
a very big discount just because Google is going to prefer if their visitors, if the Google searchers go to the website, stay on there, they don't bounce, you'll find what they're looking for. So it's much easier to bid on your own brand term. It's not something you necessarily want to do. It's your brand, and I don't want to spend people
exactly.
for me.
Waste of money.
But if you're protecting it from competitors, if you're protecting it from third parties, and you don't want to pay commissions.
The auto guys are just brutal. I mean, they basically got the gun pointed at each other. Like they geofence. I don't want to get into geofencing, but they geofence each other's dealership, and they try and get, if you're like a King Winter Nissan, all of a sudden you start getting New City Nissan ads when you're in the dealership. I mean, that's the kind of shenanigans that are going on. And there's a ton of money spent on that.
That's the most expensive type of ad.
Yeah, but there's a ton of money. And I mean, what are the odds of getting that person out of the dealership? I mean, there's got to be, that's low odd, right? Anyway, okay, cool. Okay, another big trend. So definitely online advertising is plateauing. It's not stopping, but it's definitely slowing down. And the biggest trend that I see, the data that I'm seeing, is digital videos. 15-second, 5-second digital videos. So, Darrell, let's talk about that on Instagram. Talk about content that works for a restaurant and content that doesn't work. If I'm spending money on Instagram for my restaurant.
Videos today, it's actually, most people take with their phone. They don't have to hire a film crew or and whatnot. There's more views on a video than actually on the feed today.
We'll say that again?
There's more views on an Instagram video than on a feed.
Wow, that's a great stat.
So
cool.
That's why Instagram.
Well, therefore that supports the videos that are happening, right?
But that's the number one trend in 2019 will be videos. So with Instagram videos, Instagram stories, Instagram TV, the TV is really going to expand to where they're going to put more advertising into it for the the businesses. So that's going to increase, just like how YouTube increased on their YouTube TV. Instagram TV, you can go up to, versus it was 10 seconds on a story, you go up to 10 minutes on the TV.
They're not capping it anymore. Is there like an average view time on the Instagram
we
video?
recommend videos no more between 25 and 30 seconds, because people will just scroll after that. So that's a
yeah. You're up against this.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
So keep it between 25 and 30 seconds at the most.
Cool. Monchalee, you want to comment on creative that works
Creative that works.
for videos online?
Creative that works for me. So, again, I'm like a broken record. Who are you trying to reach, and what do you want? What do they want to do? And that's the story that you tell. So,
Okay, let's talk. There's multiple people that have e-commerce sites here, like Hawaiian products. I mean, I've heard of more than one of people say that. So let's talk to that. Like, just say I have I'm selling coffee and snacks.
So, coffee and snacks. There are basically two things that you want to have people, the consumer, feel. One, you want to have them feel like they want it, right? It's delicious, it's tasty. But the other part of it, and really what's exciting, is that we're in Hawaii and they want those products because it's from Hawaii. And so putting those products in the quintessential, what everyone else thinks is Hawaii background, and showing people enjoying the lifestyle with that is what people are looking for. And that's true for both video as well as photos. But with video, you have the opportunity to show it a little bit more and really engage people. And I think video is in some ways less about conversion, but more about engaging and building loyalty for your brand.
Cool. Andrew?
Types of video creative that works?
Yep. For hotels.
For hotels, I'd say it depends on the hotel. Going back.
Well, let's go back to the affiliate a killer, like beautiful place, gorgeous place, one of the most gorgeous places on planet Earth, we could say. So.
High resolution.
Okay.
Don't mess around. Make sure it's high res. Make sure it's fast and flows well on the site is several times important. Lifestyle's important. You guys are older videos at this point, so going back and I would add lifestyle to their content.
Okay, lifestyle content. Like playing on the beach, surfing, snorkeling.
Having more people. And I think what happens is a lot of times as business owners, we get caught up in the thing that we created, but it's really about what the customer's experiencing. So you want to get in front of them and hey, this is the experience you're going to have when you this is you take us home. This is the experience, and you have to relay that in terms of video. That's not easy to do, and video is not necessarily cheap. So if you're going to do video, do it right. Short, quick, get to the point, and kind of capture what that experience of your product is.
Yeah, very important point. Always, whoever your videographers are, make sure it's anything you do starts at high resolution, because once you have high resolution, then you can actually do TV spots with it. But if you go low resolution, you cannot go up in resolution, so you're kind of stuck with a lower end product. So just key point there.
So a really good example of that, we did Cool at Palm last year. We didn't do the video. We actually had an influencer, Frank and his team had an influencer come in and shoot this video. But it's an incredible experience of Cool Ranch. And you watch that video and it just makes you want to go, you can live here and experience Cool many times. You see that video and it just kind of gives you that fresh.
Yeah, they did a great job with that for sure. Okay, nice dovetail there. So I'm gonna give each of you a minute. Okay, what's an influencer and what's the best use of them? Social media influencer. Well, what's the definition in your opinion, and what works the best for them and what doesn't work? Pros and cons.
So an influencer is what is known today as either a TV celebrity, as a blogger, as an athlete. But for most of us, that's out of reach. So now they have a micro-influencer.
A what?
Micro-influencer.
Micro-influencer.
So that's somebody
What is
who
that?
has maybe 10,000 or less followers. And somebody who is, you know them, they're trustworthy, they bring, they can show your brand according to how you want. So that's the new thing is micro-influencers today. And the reason with micro-influencers, they usually do on a trade, not like a regular influencer. You pay them per post. Influencers can be somebody who.
Hey Darrell, can you give an example of one of your influencers that you've used? Give us an example.
Actually, I don't.
So you don't use them?
No, because we're the ones who bring in influencers to the businesses.
Well, give us an example of a restaurant that uses an influencer. One of your clients first.
There is really no food influencers here that have a substantial account. Most of them are probably, there are a lot of micro influencers, but there's no big influencer here in Hawaii for food.
Like our friend Lanai does a pretty good job, but he's not cheap.
Yeah.
Right.
But his following is not because of TV.
Right. Okay. Monchalee, what's an influencer and pros and cons? I think we know. Does everybody know what an influencer is? I don't want to keep. Everyone kind of got that, okay? Let's just go into the pros and cons.
Pros and cons. An influencer theoretically represents who you want to represent your brand. They should be on brand. But a negative to that is that they could be polarizing. Maybe you don't like Augie or you don't like Lanai or whatever. You don't like their comedy. Then, if that's the case, then having them represent your brand for the person who doesn't care for them, it could turn them off to your brand. Or let's say
So it's very important who you choose.
Right.
And back to what we've been saying, it's got that influencer needs to align with who your customer is, right?
Right. And yes, having an influencer is about having them theoretically tell the story you want them to tell, but that's not always the case either. And so making sure you understand where they're an influencer for other businesses will also tell them, tell you as the business decision maker how they're going to properly align. They may talk about your competitor in the grandest light, and maybe that's okay, but maybe it's not for you. And so being knowledgeable about who they are and then making that decision is important.
Cool, Patrick.
Yeah, I think
Influencers for hotels.
I think it's a really interesting topic. And
I agree 100%.
You could spend probably the whole hour just.
Yeah, it's a thing in itself.
It is the Wild West right now. It's still early days. I think 3-4 years ago, there was massive money to be made in kind of building a brand. I know there is a watch brand, I forget the name of them, or something like that. They launched entirely on Instagram off influencers. They sold to Movado for $100 million last year. Like there was just incredible opportunity for them to go out and tell a celebrity, hey, we'll give you guys $500 to wear our watch around. And sure enough, that brand picked up, got a ton of traction. Now, influencers have kind of wised up, and you've got the Kardashians of the world going out there and charging,
Oh gosh, man.
$100,000
For a post. Oh, post.
Yeah, so we're dipping our toes into that world right now. We just we have Destination Hawaii as one of our accounts on Instagram, and just trying to build that audience.
Are you cheating on Hawaii.com?
Huh? No, we'll send you some love. Now we have about 60,000 followers, and just kind of trying to really understand the space from the other perspective. We're very much on setting the influencer strategy for our hotels, and what we'll do is we'll go in there and say, okay, make sure the influencer has a minimum number of followers, whatever that is. Make sure they match your brand.
Yeah, that's very important. You got to align with your brand. To me, if I get someone pitching me something that I know they're not into, I'm like, I'm over it.
And you have to make sure their followers aren't
Yeah.
BS. You have to make sure they're legitimate followers and they have at least, I'd say, a 5% engagement rate. If they don't have that, lots of times these guys just go out and buy followers. I'm a growth hacker. I've worked in that space. I know how that piece works.
How do you buy a follower?
Well, you can actually go on to certain forums and say, hey, I'm going to pay $100 to get 20,000 followers.
Okay. Awesome. Has I think I'm getting this right. Has everyone seen the Fry Festival documentary? Was it Fly? Fire. I know I got it right. Well, I think it's on Netflix, I believe, correct? You highly recommend. It's probably the most amazing influencer marketing done to date, but it turned into a complete disaster. The guys basically couldn't pull it off what they were promoting. It was total fraud at the end of the day. And now you have all these high-end influencers. Kardashian is one of them that are getting sued.
So I'll give you a local example, which is a really fun one. Is I think it's Maui Cookie Lady. I was doing work for a little cookie company at the time, and she would go out and she would send her cookies out to celebrities whenever they came to town, and she happened to send them to The Rock. And then he went on Instagram and posted, these are the most amazing cookies in her brand. So you have to think outside the box when working with influencers.
So that's a great story.
You don't necessarily have to pay for it.
Yeah, that's a great story. The rock blows you up. You're blown up.
Yeah,
He's the man.
He's got the right one.
Yeah. Okay, excellent. So that we're going to get off of influencers. I think that's a whole 1 hour, 2 hour conversation in its own. So, panel, what are the issues you have in trying to help a business grow? Like, what is our guests out here, them being a client of yours? How can they do a better job themselves? I guess is my question, to ensure that we have success.
I think the number one thing that I hear is that I don't have time to do a post, or I don't have time to take a photo, or I don't have time to respond to a comment. So I think that's the number one thing which a lot of businesses lack is they don't put the time into their.
That's a huge one. Huge. I'd say it's number one, right? Good. Monchalee?
Definitely number one is the time thing. I would say one of the biggest challenges is just not being ready. They don't know what they want from it. Their website doesn't function. You can't see it on a phone. Their back end is not set up to track conversions. So maybe you made 50 sales of rooms or cookies or whatever, and Google Analytics said that you sold 2. I mean, it's all of that back end stuff that really needs to be a foundation for whatever you do, whether it's through social media or through other digital marketing.
And I have to add to it, from all the online marketing that I've done, I would say effective is opt-in newsletters. So people, like for one of our companies that we run is Hawaii.com. So we have 185,000 people around the world that say, I want a deal from Hawaii and I'll sign up for that newsletter. That's probably, in my opinion, one of the most powerful marketing tools because you're actually marketing to somebody who wants your message. So I think the message you folks as business owners, building a database of your customers and communicating them through email is probably the cheapest online advertising you can do, especially if it's your customer and you've built that list, right? So email marketing and capturing your customers' information, right? All right. So at the end of the day, how do I know my digital's converting? How do I know my digital is turning into reservations at my restaurant, or conversions for my selling my snacks, my coffee, or booking a hotel room? Darrell?
I think for our clients, it's again going back to Instagram. Are they getting new followers? You know, are they getting likes on their photos? Are they getting comments? And are they coming into the restaurant or?
Yeah. So so how do you know? Like, okay, that person came in. Is there a tracking mechanism on Instagram for that?
I think they'll do an Instagram special. You just show it on your phone, and you get this.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Yeah.
And that's going back to cost effective. You know, once you put out the ad, they just show their phone. They don't have to print it out or whatnot. So that has really changed the game in bringing in a coupon or having a card or whatever is just powerful.
Cool. Monchalee?
I think I kind of answered it in the last one. If your business is digitally trackable, then having Google Analytics or whatever analytics programs you use accurately track that for you.
That conversion tool
Right.
is very important, right?
And it'll tell you, did they convert because they clicked on your ad? Did they convert because they saw your ad and a week later thought, oh, I really do want to learn more about that? It'll tell you all of that stuff. And that's the easiest way to know. But if you have something like a brick and mortar, it's hard sometimes to know whether
Much harder.
whether your ad that they saw online is what brought them in. And so, just like Darrell said, if you have something that is specific to the user that is for online, that's really helpful. So if it's a special offer that they can only get because they saw it online, when they come into your brick and mortar and they talk about it, you know where that came from. But you have to make sure that that's the only place where it's an exclusive offer.
So Patrick, you and I have always talked about this, and you've actually taught me a lot about this with hotels, is that conversion metric, right? I did this, I did that, and that person came to our website, and did he book a hotel room? And what is the standard, like in the guys, go back to that.com, what's the conversion ratio for people who visit, unique visitors who come to that website? What's the percentage? They actually book a room.
I can't share their information that's specific to that property, but I would say...
Well, on average then.
It really ranges in this specific market because you have such a dominant presence with OTAs, Expedia, Booking.com. It's usually in the 2%.
2%. So out of 100 people that come to my site, 2%.
Yeah.
And that's kind of a metric you can track, so you know if you're that's what you're shooting for, right? If I spent X amount of money and I had 100 people come in and I booked 3 rooms, I did good.
Yeah,
so to speak.
If you go into other markets, it's a lot different. It's usually much higher. But specifically Waikiki, you've got 80 other hotels, you've got 5 other channels they can go on. What I would say with regards to knowing if your digital's working, start with your goals. Figure out what your
very important
set
goals.
If it's a booking, if it's an order, if it's a number of total followers, or whatever that is, and work backwards and set your KPIs. Hey, these are how many impressions I need to get to that goal. Figure out your KPIs and then just measure every week, every day.
Benchmarks, very, very important. Because once you have benchmarks, you'll know whether your advertising is working or not month to month.
Yeah, and adjust. If it's not working, you
right.
Try a different strategy. The beautiful thing about digital, this is why I prefer it over traditional, so you can measure everything. I don't have to just throw something up and,
Yeah, that is number one. Yeah, digital is very measurable, right? It's pretty cut through. That's the bonus thing. Okay.
Can I add one more thing?
Sure.
So on our Hawaii Best Bars, we do a monthly promotion for bars. In March, we did a promotion for Japanese barbecue. It was a $20 platter with a beer. It was only offered from happy hour, 5 to 6 at 8:45 to closing. They did almost 600 platters in that time frame, so that brought them an additional almost $12,000.
Wow. Just from an instant, the post.
Correct.
Okay, speaking
Can
of,
I add
sorry,
more things?
sure, Monchalee, go ahead.
And so basically what he's saying is also about your return on investment.
Absolutely.
Maybe you, out of 100 people who came by your site, you got only 2 people to sign up. But maybe you only spent $100 for those 2 people to sign up and you just made $10,000, right? So when you're taking into consideration what is the conversion rate, it's also, well, how much money did you make against that
Right.
versus your spend? Important.
Right. I think that comes back to that's underneath benchmarks, right? Okay, speaking of posting, how many times, Darrell, how many times should, if I'm a restaurant, should I post on my on Instagram and Facebook, say, every day, once a week, once a month? What's the standard?
We tell our clients every day because you're creating your own brand, and if you only post once a week, that means that potential customer will really have to search to see your post. So every day is the norm.
Cool, I like that. Okay, every day. Monchalee, you agree? Let's change it. Let's say I'm selling snacks and coffee again. That's my business. On like 100% e-commerce. How often should I post?
I would say that once a day is probably going to be the standard answer. Generally speaking, you could do more frequently, you could do less frequently, but most important is consistency. If you're doing once a week, you're doing it way too few.
Yeah, not enough.
Not enough, thank you.
Okay.
It's hard.
So Patrick, hotel? You have a team that posts, is that correct?
Yeah, but we do probably not as heavy on the actual day-to-day grid posting. I'm talking Instagram here. We'll probably do every other day and try and add more stories. I like kind of the evolution of Instagram, the theft of Snapchat, where they took kind of the more natural, organic look. So that not every single one of your photos are so processed and look fake necessarily. I think it's easy to share that content more regularly, and so they say don't do necessarily more than two grid posts a day and more than 5 stories a day. I think that's excessive.
Okay.
Work up to that.
Okay, cool. So Darrell, post versus repost.
I recommend both. The post is the original post. Reposting from customers, that's the best thing you can do because they took time to take a photo, put a caption, tag you in the photo,
Yeah.
and that gives you content which, if you don't take pictures every day, at least you have something to post.
So we're reposting customer content, not like reposting the thing I put up 2 weeks ago.
No,
Gotcha.
fresh content.
Gotcha. Okay. Fresh customer content. Right. Actually,
True that.
true that.
I mean, it's free content, it's free marketing for you, and really what it also does is it builds loyalty and shows the person who took the time that you saw them, that you appreciate them. And for other consumers, they recognize that you're not tooting your own horn, even though you are.
Yeah. Huge. So it's like an endorsement,
It's like an endorsement.
right? Yeah. Free endorsement.
That's fine.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
Make it a blend.
Okay. How many hashtags do I repost to or send my? I mean, it's like nuts. Like you see some posts, it's like you can't get to the bottom of the hashtags, right?
Yeah, so even hashtags, that's an interesting one because a lot of businesses don't even have their own hashtags to start with, and they'll use other hashtags. So that's one thing we always recommend is to create your own hashtag. So when you get tagged in a photo, the customer knows exactly what to use. For when we started, we only use, the majority is just 2 hashtags, Hawaii's Best Kitchens and Hawaii. For us, that's really helped us. We've been tagged in over 49,000 photos. So we have a lot of content.
Yeah. I would say in your case, you would dilute yourself if you started getting more. You're just more focused on those 2, right? Therefore, you're building big audiences just for those 2 hashtags. Okay, cool. Patrick?
Hashtag strategy for let's say most of you probably have under 50,000 followers. What I'd say is, this is a lot of work, but come up with 150 hashtags. I know that sounds like a lot,
Now you're going the opposite way here.
Yeah, come up with, well, don't.
You're talking about for your business.
Don't post 150 hashtags on one post.
Okay.
But come up with your list of hashtags that you can go to, and then I would use.
So then they're your hashtags, is what you're saying. Build like a library of hashtags.
Build your own library of hashtags, and then use in every single post about 20 unique. Don't post the same hashtags, otherwise you can get shadow banned and everything on Instagram. But definitely use them, switch them up, and then when you're choosing your hashtags, shoot for hashtags that have around 500,000 posts in them. I think that's the sweet spot because it means you can get good visibility, and you're not getting lost. So if you just post hashtag food, your food post is never going to get shots. If you post a hashtag that's food that I like, that is really good, and something really wrong with that, nobody's ever going to search for that hashtag, so there's no value to it. You find a sweet spot, I can find that right now.
Okay, cool. So kind of a loaded question here, but Darrell, so for restaurants, what are the top 3 hashtags that they should be posting? Other than, of course, we've established you need your own, number 1, and you should have, but for restaurants in Hawaii.
I think the restaurant Hawaii and
Well, yours, of course.
Hawaii Biscuits, of course. Well, actually, you can even like Japanese restaurant, Japanese food, or Chinese food, or if you're Waikiki. But a lot of people, they put way too many hashtags. That's not irrelevant. So what you're saying is good because you're cherry picking hashtags.
Yeah.
Don't copy everybody else's hashtags. Come up with your own. The max you can use is 30. A lot of people use the first comment for another part of the hashtags, or the hashtag in a photo, or tag in a photo. That's important to tag in a photo, but be careful on hashtags. So some people just do way too much with hashtags.
Okay, awesome. Monchalee, add to that.
I think I'm not going to give you top 3, but I'd say that you should definitely prioritize. Not every photo gives the same, it's not the same kind of hashtag ability. Some of it is going to be, let's say that it's Japanese food, some of it is going to be showing the beach, some of it, whatever it is that you're showing, really be thoughtful about what it is you're trying to promote, because really that's what a hashtag is, right? It's a concept that you're promoting. Also, don't be afraid if your audience is from Asia, for example, to use a Japanese hashtag. Go find hashtag Hawaii, or whatever it is.
In Japanese?
In Japanese, because they're definitely on Instagram as well, or on other social media, and they are looking exactly for the opportunity to see all about Hawaii.
Is there a resource we all can go to see like a ranking of hashtags and categories?
Yes, there's actually various sites to do that.
Okay, can you give us the audience?
Hashtag.com is one of them. Or you
Is
can
that a joke?
actually you can look for hashtags for each individual type of businesses, from restaurants to swimwear to whatever it is.
Cool.
Yeah, and they'll give you the top hashtags to use.
Awesome. Well, you guys did an amazing job. We got like 10 minutes left, so I'm going to open it up. We'll probably do a couple questions. Anyone have a question for our panel here? Go for it.
Is it true that if you put the hashtags in your first comment, after you do the post, like if you do another comment and you do the hashtag, it's not showing up in the analytics anymore? So if you go to the hashtag and you put it in the comment, that doesn't show up in the searches.
Yeah, actually that's what they're saying now, that when you put hashtag in the first comment, it actually doesn't work as effective as in your description.
Good question. Anyone else? You guys are all social media pros now, online advertising. Right on. Well, thank you very much, everybody. Thanks for showing up, and I hope I learned a bunch of things today. So thank you guys and girl.